the girl inside era, you know, because like you have started taking piano lessons. Beautiful. I've started taking my voice lessons again.
So cute.
You know,
We're so
rediscovering our voices, rediscovering music.
Yeah.
And being like, whatever cognitive, you know, behavioral therapy, like, get out of here. Yeah.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Get out of here. CBT.
I'm the rusty old spoon you stepped on in your backyard, Phoebe.
And I'm Jacques.
And welcome to Do You Ever Feel Like?
Where we ask the questions everyone's thinking and no one's answering.
That was so dark of me. It just came, it just flooded into my mind's eye, and we're
Stepping
here.
on a rusty spoon in your backyard.
Where'd you grow up?
Not with you. Not with you. Definitely not.
We're back. I feel like that's all I say on this podcast. We're back.
We're back.
I
have so much to say about taking a break. And I'm so excited to talk about this today.
We're just taking breaks. It's so nice.
I have like, I feel like a break is like such a dumb word.
Yes.
Here, I'm coming in. I'm coming in.
Okay.
Like,
I'll sit down. I'll shut up.
Like,
I'll sit down.
I feel like taking a break. I feel like, okay, I just feel like, what does that even mean anymore? Like, I just feel like that is such just like a dumb concept. Like, what does taking a break even mean? I don't know. I don't know what it means.
Yeah.
I don't understand what that means. And I think something I've been thinking about a lot lately is like how you and I work in our business and how people have literally no fucking idea what to do about it. Like, I don't know if we put this on the pod, but like how people don't don't know how to respond to it. Like, just don't understand what it is. You know what I'm saying? As far as the way we manage time, the way we say this is happening and then 48 hours will happen and then we will get back to you. Like these types of things.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, what is a break? What is a break if that's how you live? I don't know.
Well, and also,
You know?
that's a good point. And I think like this, like, we talk about like this like big boss. This is like all of my fucking problems I have with the world are because of Instagram.
Yes.
And like all of my like I think like there's like this oversimplification that we've had to like communicate, like because of the way that we communicate like en masse, and like the idea of like break, burnout, like going slow, ease, like all of these like things that are, I don't want to say like complicated, but like they're like not one word. They're like not fucking cute words, but like we like cutify them so that we can like write a headline that like gets clicks, you know? Like, and I think like burnout in particular is like the one that really, really ticks me off right now, because I think it's like a very complicated like thing, like with like a lot of different parts and like intersections and all this stuff that like we just are like tossing around all of the time without actually talking about like what the thing is. And so I think like break is the same thing. It's like, well, I'm going to take a break and be very specific about it. And like that's confusing for the world.
Yeah. And I think about this as terms of like seasons of television, because like we've been trying to like have seasons of this pod, and like who cares? What does that even mean? I don't know. We don't know what it means. But I think like you're not telling an actor that's on a season of a show like you're not like asking them like when are you coming back? When are you coming back? What's happening? And look, I am not at all ungrateful to the folks that have wanted us to come back. I'm not being sassy. However, I think there is this thing that we like in that situation, like in that example, you would just be like, oh, season whatever comes back in the fall. And you're just fine with whatever Thursday night, 8 o'clock premiere on your Hulu or like whatever, right? Like you're just okay with it. Like you just have to deal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know. I just have been thinking about that, right? Like you and I, it's not really a break. Like, yes, like we went on a winter hiatus. We went on a winter thing, but it's not like a break. It's just like how we've structured the podcast. Like
I know.
We don't talk to you because who wants to be fucking talked at in January? I don't know. I'm not a single person. I don't want to be spoken to in January. Like, leave me alone. Like, we don't talk to you in January. You know, we had this idea to come back like, you know, late Feb, right? Life got in the way, whatever. And then like, we don't talk to you over the summer too, because again, do you want to take do you want to listen to us on the beach? I don't think you do. Like, I don't know.
I think there's like, but it's not even just that. I think it's like the output that we have, like a relationship with like content, right? Like,
yes.
And the relationship that with like output, because we see a very particular thing.
Yes.
And like, I'm constantly having to remind myself and like reminding like the people that we work with, like our job as artists and people that create things, like the podcast isn't happening right now. Like, we're just sitting down to record, like, a moment. The podcast is happening, like, when I go outside for a walk. Like, the podcast is happening, like, I'm driving to you on Thursday, and I'm like, okay, cool, I have a 7.5. Like, literally, I was like, all of my thinking is on my to-do list for Thursday, because I'm going to sit in the car and just think.
Or your research time.
Or your
listening to the thing. Yes, totally. Yeah,
like all of this stuff is created in like in the runs, in the like, I don't know, sitting around with friends kind of thing. And I'm constantly having to remind myself, and like, I'm not gonna make anything good if I'm not living my life. Like, I know that about myself.
Yes
And I know that about myself because I've like, well, one, burnout, but then also like, I think, if you like have to go slow, like your body will tell you when you have to go slow.
Or maybe I have such a fucked up idea of like rest that like I feel like I need to like explain the breaks, right? Or like whatever, right? Like, I don't know.
Yes. Like we have to like justify it. Yes.
We have to justify why this podcast is probably going to come out a good month after we said we would be back, right? Like, I have a couple of things. Well, I have a few things to say. God, this episode. I have a few things to say about that. One is nobody pays attention to anything. So it's honestly really surprising to me, like when someone will say about any of my work, hi, do you have this thing that you said you would do?
Yeah.
Or, hey, you know, are we coming back on the pod or like whatever that is? I'm always like, you paid attention? you listened to me being like, we're going to be back in, you know what I mean? Like, that's cute. Like, that's lovely. Yeah. Because I just assume that nobody listens to anything because we're so like, you know, like you were saying, this like content flood all the time.
Yeah.
And I also think like there's a pace that we've gotten so used to that people are honestly quite surprised when I'm like, no, we take 2 months off of our podcast. Or like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah.
I know. It's just like, I guess, yeah, all that to say,
we took a break.
Question mark? I don't know. I don't fucking know. But I also think this is like the fun thing about making stuff. Like, are you okay? Oh no, we've like lost. Are you okay? If you're not watching on
We're
YouTube
just
right
so
now,
neurotic.
like laughing in silence right now. Like, she just can't make any like verbal output of a laugh. It's just a woman shrieking.
I just find this to be like so, I just think, I don't know, we're just like so unhinged. I'm so unhinged.
I know. Well, I was gonna ask you, how was your break? How was the time? How is post Christmas? How's 2024?
How's 2024 going? Oh, wow. Honestly, I have no idea.
No.
We make all of these like, okay, so first of all, I really tried to do the whole not jumping into the new year thing, which is really great. I actually think we should all be doing this. New Year's resolutions can go to hell. This is all ridiculous. Like insanity, right? I think that whole thing is like, but I have never really like slowly gotten into the new year in the way that I did this year, which was like really nice. I don't really feel like 2024 started because I listened to Channy. Like
it just started
2024
recently.
started like recently, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's and I'm really fine with that. And I really liked that I like took it slow through January, because what else is there to do in January?
Well, like, also that astrological New Year isn't for a couple more weeks still anyway, so.
Oh, really?
You know? Yeah, like the astrological New Year is like, I know it's like Aries. It's like the beginning. Right? So I think that's like in a couple, like 4-6 weeks when we're recording. I don't know. Anyway.
We had the holidays. We had the New Year. I cut my hair again. I did my yearly chop. Right. I call it my yearly chop. It was great. And I don't know. The world is horrible and sad still. And like, here we are. Like,
yeah. I know, like, just like the slow march of painful, oppressive time.
Yes.
We're fun, eh? We're really fun at parties. Hire us for your next event.
I feel like I just like saw little Jacqueline playing soccer. And little Jacqueline is like, what even is a water break? Like, what even is an orange slice break? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
I've been the same person my whole life. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, right. Yeah.
Starting this podcast with like, what is a break? Like, this is very
dive into the existentialism of it all. I think it kind of explains something, though. I don't know if you want to talk about this, but I think this is compelling. We're both taking therapy breaks right now.
Oh,
and I'm so loving it. I'm in my not going to therapy era right now.
Me too.
And I just had this feeling. Well, I should also maybe contextualize as well for the podcast listeners. I was diagnosed with autism in like January, I think, February. Time. And like this process is so like over pathologizing because you're just like in mental health land. And I just had this moment where I was like, I just want to like take piano lessons. Like, I just want to like be me. I just want to not heal. Because I don't actually think I'm broken. And I just want to be me and enjoy it and like drink coffee. The end.
Yes. Yes. This really relates to little Jacqueline sitting on the bench playing soccer. Yes, exactly. Like how, like, what other ways can we connect to ourselves that aren't therapy? Absolutely. Yeah. I feel you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. And I just think it's funny. It's like, and I obviously think therapy is I had this like thought the other day that was making me a little bit crazy. So I turned 30 this year. I've been in therapy since I was like 14. And I was like, I will have spent over half of my life in therapy. Yeah. And obviously I think it's a very good thing. Like, obviously I like really believe in therapy and I think there's like very good therapists out there, but I also just think there's like a time and a place and a moment for it. And I don't think you need to be in crisis, and I don't like, you know, I think it's like nice to have regular help. But that like was really quite upsetting to me to think about.
Yes.
And isn't that crazy? So anyway, we're in our therapy break era.
Yeah. And I think we're both too in our like, like our young people, like the girl inside era, you know, because you have started taking piano lessons. Beautiful. I've started taking my voice lessons again.
So cute.
You know,
so
rediscovering our voices, rediscovering music.
Yeah.
And being like, whatever cognitive, you know, behavioral therapy, like, get out of here. Yeah.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Out of here. CBT. I love being in therapy too. And I've been in therapy, it's so funny, off and on, basically the same amount of time, because obviously. Yeah. And yeah, like I think it was really, really yeah, it was really, really, really a big deal for me to go, no, like, I think I understand enough now. And I think it is time to do other things. And I think there's something really to be said about artists who are in therapy but should be making art, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
I think sometimes of like I spend so much time in my own head, like thinking things when I could just be like honestly, I think we're gonna sound like two fucking wackadoo white dudes in this episode. I know what I think about a lot whenever we're recording that Bo Burnham skit from Inside. I don't remember it was in the special for it was just, do you know this? Oh my God. Do you not know this? Oh my God.
you have to finish and completely.
That I don't remember it was actually in. Did you see this special? You watched Inside?
Who remind me which special this is, because I've seen a lot of them.
Bo Burnham.
He's the little white man. Yes. Yes. Okay.
With the keyboard in his room. Yes.
He directed. Yes. I've seen this. Yeah. I've seen this.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Flashback for a second. I like the first time I was and I'm sure you're probably gonna have the same story, and like women across the universe are gonna have the same story. I first saw, I think it was probably It's Bo-Yo, like his like viral video from my high school boyfriend. I think he was my boyfriend at the time or whatever, thing. And McDonald's at lunch break on his phone. Oh no, on his iPod Touch. He had it downloaded.
An iPod Touch.
Yeah.
Taking us back.
Yeah, it would have been before iPhones.
Wow.
So I just think that's funny. Anyway, there's like that sketch from Inside. It's like his like, it's not stand up because like the world was shut down. Anyway, solo performance. But he's got this sketch of like two white dudes having a podcast. And it's like, oh, you can't say anything. And he's like having a podcast with himself. That's what I think. That's my head. It's like two white men with microphones. And they're like, oh, you can't say anything these days. Look at me.
Yeah.
I can't say anything.
That's exactly what our podcast is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think like a lot of the time when I'm having a feeling, like if I just go outside and fucking run, then I will be fine, actually. And like if you actually like feel a feeling, instead of just like thinking with it all of the time, like that does, and like, or doing something with that thought and like processing. Like I know my processing happens like way better like on a page,
Yeah,
whether or not I actually make something with it doesn't really matter, but like actually like moving with the thing instead of sitting with it all of the time. It's like exhausting.
Yeah. I think that totally. I think that even if you are in different types of therapy, where it is, even if it's somatic based, even if it's different than, cognitive behavioral therapy or whatever. And again, I'm using these words as if I know what any of this means. But I think there is also something to be said about like, if you're an artist, do whatever you want to do with your life and yourself and your practice. But like art is a tool, I think like, I don't know. I've very much been reminded of that because so much of what I do every day is about making art for other people, basically. And, I think remembering that it's a tool, that it's something that can be used for exploration, right? To get to know yourself better, whatever, is like, it's a really good reminder for working artists that just feel like they need to be like pumping out shit all the time. You know what I mean? For other people's consumption. It's like, no, exactly. Like you said, like, who cares if you make anything with it, but you can use the tools and practice of art to explore. I'm not like my voice lessons. I don't know. Cool. Great. If I get like a cool book, if I get like a good audition book together, great. But that's not the point of why I'm doing that. Like the point of why I'm doing it is to like rediscover my voice and my body again, which is in and of itself a very therapeutic thing. So
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I've like really
Trying to
impressed
think
myself with my music.
with your
like,
piano. I was going to
remembering
say.
I thought, oh, it's just gone. I'm like remembering so much. It's so, I think that's really cool. And it feels really healing to do. Like, I don't know, but like I come from a big family of musicians, as you know, and like piano was like, you have to play piano. Like there's no other choice. And like, yeah, whatever. I could go on about it. So it's really nice to like
the same like
yeah, yeah. Like you had to play. And like my grandma,
I was forced by my grandmother to play the piano. Forced.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like my grandma played the piano, and like her brother, like they all played the piano as well. My grandma also played the spoons.
Oh yeah, you've told me about grandma playing the spoons. Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
But it's really fun and like sweet to do something. Like I had to practice. Like my mom would be like, come downstairs and practice the piano. And like now I'm like wanting to go and do that thing. It's like really, like that feels really healing to me right now.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Like, and I'm like excited and I'm like being a total nerd about it, obviously. Or I'm like going down the YouTube deep dives. Like my YouTube recommended is just like piano, like sight reading drills basically now.
Oh my God, I love that. If you keep coming back to listen to the pod, thank you so much. We love making this podcast and we love you. To keep supporting this project, we ask that you take a few seconds to go to wherever you're listening and hit subscribe or follow. This one move ensures that you will always know when a new episode drops, and it allows the pod to continue to grow.
If you want to leave us with a rating and some kind words, we will be so grateful. Lastly, if you want to support the creation and production of the pod and give us a little thank you treat, who doesn't love a little treat? You can head over to the link in the show notes for our Venmo link. We appreciate you so much.
Right? We just turn into sweet little beings. We're just sweet little flowers.
My God, we're so cute.
We're
all
so
of a sudden.
sweet.
Not grumpy, angry women.
Money.
Give me money. I want to be in a ranking. Put me on the list.
I've been like thinking about songs that I want to sing, and I've been going back into the musical theater like canon, right? And I'm like, I'm like 7 years old watching Into the Woods with my brother.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like remembering these things. And like, that has been, that is healing, which like, whatever that word is again, right? But like, that has been really, really awesome. And I also think this goes off in this whole other rant about how nobody looks at art anymore, and it's driving me crazy. Like, your phone is not art. Like, your social media is not art. Like,
oh my
put your
God,
phone
that's
down.
so funny. That's so funny you say that.
Why?
Because I was just thinking about my art is not content bullshit.
Yeah. Like, social media, if you are, I've been thinking about this, like, oh gosh, here we go. I've been thinking about this as far as like, how do we document and share about our art without the documentation of our art becoming the thing that people want to see, right? And like, so if you have a show in a gallery, you want people to go to the gallery. You want people to see that shit. But now, because of social media, obviously, right? We've got like these walk-through tours of galleries, and we've got these like images on the walls, and it's like, what is the point of looking at a photo of a piece of art? You know what I mean? Like, no, you haven't experienced and seen this thing or listened to this song or like whatever the thing is, unless you like go and actually do it. And if social media is a way for you to like learn about the thing and then go do it, or learn about the Substack essay and then go read it, or learn about the concert and then go purchase the ticket, cool. But it's, I think there's like this thing that's happening with us in our brains now where we think we've experienced something because we've seen 30 seconds of it on our phones.
Well, I even get like, I get nervous sometimes, or maybe not nervous, but just something I think about as far as like sharing free work all of the time is plagiarism. And I was just listening to like my poetry. Another thing I do, I'm go to piano lessons, and then I have poetry class as well. But my poetry teacher, Joy Sullivan, she had like posted the other day, she'll like frequently Google her poems that she's like put out just for free on Instagram. you know, just like as a post or whatever. And but she'll find them plagiarized by like very funny like wellness accounts, which I think like yoga wellness accounts or whatever. And they're always like real crap versions of like these very artfully constructed poems, obviously. But that's something I think about as well, is just like the like the tessellation of work, and like are we actually like focusing on the work that's in front of us because we can't tell when something is art or when something is content? And like, are the two the same? Are they different? I have an opinion about it. I don't know about the other person on the other side, right? And like, it's like media literacy is what it is, like at the end of the day, you know? And so, yeah, it's just something like I've been thinking about. It's like, oh, I just have like so much writing. And like, we make so much. You and I make so much. Independently, we make so much. And like, for the most part, it's free on the internet. And like, and it's happened to me before. Like, people have come and it's happened to us. People come and take our work. It's like kind of part of it. And it is, I don't know. It's like a really weird, sticky conversation. I don't have like any real thoughts around, but it's just something I've been thinking about a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been thinking about that too. I've been thinking about experiencing art and how important it is to go to the place and experience the thing. And not...
That is my only New Year's resolution this year, is to go see more local art.
Yeah.
Specifically theater. So my mom and I have bought tickets to like all the local theater shows from like now till, because you know what I also think is really like beautiful is like, those are like the best actors you'll ever see in your entire life. Like people that are doing it because like the paycheck's not fucking great, even if there is a paycheck. Like they're adults who are wanting to do a thing outside of, you know, working hours. It's hard. It's like their free time. It's labor. It's work. And it's like just pure fucking passion, like fueled passion. And like, obviously I live in a world where I want artists to get paid all of the time. And I wish all of those people could just be actors full time if that's what they want. But I also think it's like just really beautiful and special to like go, or like, I don't know, like when like people, so like whenever people ask me like, oh, where to go and get art? I'm like, walk downtown, like leave your house, go to a cafe, buy what's on the walls there. Like that is like, there's so much like, beautiful art right here for you. Like you don't need to find like the best person. I don't know, whatever the thing is.
Yes, we turn to our phones. I mean, you called me out on this the other day, even though, or not the other day, that was literally months ago, but months ago. You literally months, like actually months ago, you were like, what are you talking about going online to find art? Like, what are you doing? And
like,
for my walls of my home, exactly. Even though I will say that I did tag a lot of like actual artists that I know are making things that like people could go and pay for.
Oh, I know that
buy.
too. But I'm just like I think like the IKEA art of the world is a plague. Like it must be stopped.
It must be stopped. But also turning to our phones for all the answers must be stopped. And I think that like, you know, this has been coming up in the work a lot, in our work and on Do You Ever Media, is like there is some fucking perfect little secret sauce recipe that everybody wants of like how do you make things cool? And it's like you put your phone down, you read a book, you read a book.
You know what,
you go to an art gallery.
Like, you know what my literal thought was last night in the bathtub? I don't have shower thoughts. I have like 45-minute baths that I'm like,
you have just like,
I was like, I think if you
want thoughts.
Yeah, I think if you want to like new rule for the internet, if you want to like make anything, you have to go read Audre Lorde first. Like you have to be informed by like the context of the world, you know?
Yes.
Like,
I think that one of the best things I ever could have done as an artist is I got basically a liberal arts education degree with like getting a social work degree, right? And then I learned how to make art. I learned about like the injustices of the world, the oppression in our world, like, you know what I mean? Like how these systems work. And then I went and made art about it. Like that is vital.
Well, because you can't say anything without understanding the context of the world in which you're saying it in, right? And so it's like if we want to make something good or cool, like we have to have an understanding of like the world that it will live in.
yeah, what are you responding to? Like something is only ever interesting if like, right? Like it's in response to something. But if you don't know it's in response to, if you haven't taken like a pulse check on the landscape, then yeah, it's not going to quote unquote do whatever you think it's going to do, even though I don't think it should be doing anything that you think it should be doing. But again, that's another conversation. But like, yes, go see art, go do things. I've been doing that. It's been very helpful in this like first part of, 2024. I can't believe it's already March. What?
I know.
How?
And it's like March is like over too now.
I know. Don't even. Yeah. I've been really trying to check myself around that though too, right? Like I've been getting into many a moment with Jack lately around, I'm always like, oh, it's 1:00. It's 4:00. Like in my brain, I'm like, it's 4:00.
Yeah.
It's midnight. It's midnight. It's like, I'm like, so
it's Thursday.
It's Thursday. You know what I mean? Like I'm so like, there's not enough time. There's not enough time. There's not enough time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
no.
And he is like, no. For many reasons. He's like, no.
Literally only have time.
Yes.
Like we literally only, the only thing you have ever on earth is time. Quite a lot of it. To be for real,
Yeah. And I think to really bring this full circle, I'm trying to bring it around. Here we go.
Oh, okay.
You and I are in a lot of like creative entrepreneur spaces. And the biggest conversation often in those spaces is like, how do I work less? How do I take time off? How do I take a break? How do I go on vacation and not be working? And I think like the most upsetting, uncomfortable thing that is really hard for me to hear when I'm freaking out that, midnight is actually 4:00 or like whatever, is that like, is this idea that like, you just have to do it. Like you just have to stop working, or you just have to put in 2 months of a pod break, and you just have to be uncomfortable not doing the thing. You just have to go through withdrawal and get over it. And like that's the hard thing. There isn't, I don't know if there is a way to feel good about that space or time or like I don't know if that's actually real. Like you just literally have to go lay down on the couch, even if your list is, even if your to-do list, quote unquote, right, is like falling off the pages or whatever, right? Like, and you have to be able to hold those two things at the same time. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Whenever my like spiral of like, not enough time or money or, I mean, let's be for fucking real. That's the only two things I'm ever stressed about, really.
Yeah.
Like if I'm going to like, but like Esther Perel says, there's only like 4 arguments. I'm only ever really stressed about 2 different things. And it's like money and time, and there's never enough of it. And that's just not fucking true, because the only thing that tells me that there isn't enough of it is white supremacy. And I don't believe in white supremacy. I believe in like real radical liberation. So what do I fucking want? Like, what do I fucking want? I have a phone. I have internet connection.
Yeah.
I know my rent's going to be paid. I'm like the richest woman on planet Earth. And like, what are all these wackadoos out here, including myself, running around looking for the answers in our phone, looking for answers outside of ourselves, and looking for the, like, what? Like, there's so much abundance. Like, I don't know. Like, I live in North America in the year 2024. I'm a white lady.
Yeah.
My life is fucking fine. And so it's my job now to act accordingly, like to not like have this like dragon's hoard of time, this dragon's hoard of money, this like, if I'm going to say like, I'm not going to reply to an email for a couple of days, like it's my responsibility to like not reply to do it exactly for a couple of days. So that's my problem.
Exactly. You have to do the thing. You have to do the actual thing. And most of the time it's going to be about, it's going to be uncomfortable, and it's going to be about like shifting these things, like is it Simone's great thing about like withdrawal, like rest is not, you're not uncomfortable with resting. You're uncomfortable with like the withdrawal that you feel that you like while you try to rest, you know? I've been thinking about that a lot because I think there is something kind of really cool about what you and I do with time, right? And like, and
I'm really proud of myself the way that I do like work and react in the world, but that's because it's a practice and like, and if I don't do that, then like I do burn myself out in a really horrific, like not cute Instagram way, in a way that I don't get out of bed for weeks, months on end. And like, that's not responsible. You know, I can't be a good, not even just good. I can't be a part of any kind of resistance or fight for justice if I'm not available, you know? And it's my responsibility to do better, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Well,
anyways,
that was
so, you know,
an episode.
That was an episode about how to take a break. How to take a break. Are breaks real?
Scram, as I like to say, as we like to say. We say scram so much that my phone autocorrects scream to all caps scram, which is upsetting.
And also grot.
Just so disgusting, so gross.
My phone literally now is GRAT. Grat. Great.
I know Jacqueline's crispy R's have entered the building. I can't do it. It's honestly a feat. I don't know, a backflip of greatness. It's something.
I think it's just, you know, growing up in a family that like really were trying to be wasps. I think that's all that is, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Fascinating. I am an anthropologist, so this is helpful. Thank you. Anything that we want to say at the end here? I don't know. We'll be back. We have some really great guests lined up this season. I don't know. Stick around, hang out, you know, slide into our DMs, etc. We love chatting with you guys. Thanks for listening to whatever the fuck this was. Thanks for listening to whatever the fuck it has been.
Yeah. This is reminding me of like the theater, you know, when you're in a rehearsal and you take a break and the stage manager goes, "We're back," and you say, "Thank you, back."
Yes, I still don't understand that. I didn't understand it then. Actually, you know what? No, I won't tell the story on the podcast. Never mind. Did you see that? I'm honestly really proud of myself for that just now. Yeah. Jacqueline, edit this out. I didn't even have to do that.
Good. Thank you. Yeah. Future Jacqueline, thanks you.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll be back regular schedule, bi-weekly.
On this like intro to season 3 palette cleanser ride. Whatever this was.
Yeah.
We're excited.
Yeah.
Can't believe we're going into season 3.
Nice. It's nice to be able to have a space that's like not, I mean, none of our spaces really, but like, I don't know. I'm like not into the done. I don't think I've finished baking a cake in a long time. You know what I mean? Like I'm into the like half constructed. I'm like, I brought this out. Wasn't done. But I got this for you.
This is why we work well together, you and I.
Yeah.
Because I will finish baking the cake.
Yeah, you'll finish baking the cake. I'm like, I had the batters on the counter. I don't know.
You're like, I'm going for a run.
I gotta go. I gotta just sprint. I'm now getting that from like people I see around town. They're like, oh, I just see you running. And I'm like, that's me. Bye. Anyway. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Do You Ever Feel Like, a podcast from Do You Ever Media.
Follow this chaos wherever you get your pods.
Our artwork is by Simon Peng.
You can write us at doyoueverpod@gmail.com.
Learn more about our work at doyouevermedia.com.
Or by following us at Do You Ever Media.
Okay, bye!
Okay, bye!